In this video, I will show you how you can create this awesome manipulation in Photoshop. If this is your first time here, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss any new videos. The speed of this video is 4 times faster than a normal speed. This video got over an hour, so I needed to make this a lot faster than normal speed, unless nobody's gonna watch that. So if you want to see the original speed, just change it to 0.25 and you will see the normal speed of how I created this. So I started off with finding all these images and get them in the right position in my composition. So all these images are in the description of the video, so if you want to recreate this, you can find them all in the description. And I want to make sure all these images were at the right perspective. So I slightly changed this perspective of this letter here to make sure it looked right without any weird things going on. And after that, I started with the puppet warp tool to get this face like watching this cotton candy instead of watching in front of. So you can change the perspective of like faces and hands and all those little things. And I did the same with this raccoon. So I wanted to make sure that these hands of this raccoon were both touching this cotton candy. So first I like changed this angle bit from this cotton candy so it looked more real. And after that I started with adding some puppet warp to this raccoon. As you can see here, I changed his feet to make sure he was really standing on this ladder instead of floating in the air or something. And here you can see I changed the angle of his face slightly to the left and also both of his hands to really hold that cotton candy there. After that I put everything in folders, so when you work on files like this you have a lot of layers later on and you don't want to get confused in those, so use folders to put them all in one folder. And after that I changed the background to gray. It's easier to work on gray instead of white, so you can always have some white stuff going on like light effects. And I want to make sure to have an idea where the lighting will be and the horizon. This is just a line I created to have a simple idea of where the horizon will be in my final design. And after that I started with creating a new layer and drawing some shadows. So drawing shadows is done with a normal brush. You can use a general brush for this. You can drop the opacity and flow around 10 to 20% and just draw little shadows on the left side. First you need to have an idea where will the lighting be. I had an idea, I wanted to make my lighting on the right side of this image, so I started off with drawing shadows underneath all these subjects and on the left side of them. So even little shadows like here underneath this paw and underneath this tail, it still needs a little bit of shadow, and also work on little details like that. So every little detail will matter at the end. So also made a shadow here for this bucket to make sure this all looked real. And as you can see here, when you use a gray background you can see this really good. So later on when you change this gray to like a real background and a real surface there underneath, you will see that this will look a lot better than now. On gray it's really visible now. And what I did here was I want to make sure I had a big shadow of this whole giraffe. So I just made a duplication of this giraffe and made sure that the places where this shadow starts is at the start of his feet and not somewhere floating around somewhere on the left side. So this looked pretty good, and I stretched it out because I wanted to make my lighting like a sunset lighting. So when you have a sunset lighting you have longer shadow, and at the end where it ends you can just brush that part away because you don't need to see the whole shadow, just a little bit. And here I did the same with this leather. I just duplicated all these layers from the leather, the raccoon and the cotton candy bucket and made sure it was like the same at the same angle as this giraffe. So make sure it goes the same way and don't make like one shadow goes a little bit up, just make sure they go in the same direction. After that I just brushed some parts away there, as you can see, and duplicated this layer because it didn't look right when you duplicate them. I only wanted to make shadows from these legs of this leather and also from the other leg, because when you have lighting on the right side you won't see all these shadows. So just make little shadows and draw them away with with a brush. Just make masks on them, draw them away with a black brush. Now as you can see here, I still working on shadows, so I made sure everything had shadow and was okay. And after that I started off with getting lighting. So I just created a little yellow dot on the left side to have an idea where my lighting will be, and I dropped opacity slightly here and started off with adding curves to all these subjects. So I started off with this giraffe, and you want to make sure the right side is lighting up and the left side will stay dark. And here you can see this little feet, this leg from this giraffe needs to be lighter, and I just cut them out with a pen tool to make sure it only has lighting on the right side. So here you can also see I just bring back the light of the original photo, and also on this feet, because we have lighting on the right side, and the right side of this giraffe needs to be lighter than the left side. So this is just simple to do with curves. When you add curves to all these subjects, you can just use a normal brush and draw them away. And as you can see here, I'm still doing the lighting on this giraffe. So it took me a lot of time to get this lighting really right on this one, and also make sure little details that's sticking out. For instance, here you can see this ear is sticking out, so I want to make sure this ear was a little bit lighter than the rest. After that I did the same with this bucket here. We have a bucket that's really dark now, and want to make sure the right side of it was lighter, and I slightly changed these curves a bit with adding more contrast to them. When you take the middle point of this curve, you make more contrast by just bringing that down. So that looks okay, and after that I just want to make sure there was a little bit of shadow inside this bucket, because we have less lighting inside the bucket than outside. So just made a little bit of brushing inside with a dark brush. And here you can see I added this little dark spot to get more contrast there. Now here I also made some more contrast to this giraffe, and it was time to get more shadows on this leather. This leather was really lighten up, so I had to edit that a lot. So what I did was just make them all dark with the curves here, and just brushing parts away that get some lighting. So you can see the right side of this leather is really lighten up now, and the left side stays dark. So this was just drawing all these parts away again to make sure these sides are lighten up and the left side is dark. Also some areas inside this leather, because some lighting going inside there, nothing is blocking the light there, so everything goes just right inside there. And make sure to just brush these little details, because at the end when you're finished you will see a great result when you work on lighting like that. So try to use like your imagination where the light needs to be and draw them really precisely on this leather. So just zoom in a lot and see how that looks, and after that just zoom out and check it again. Now here I'm still working on this lighting from this leather, and I think this was the longest part I did for the lighting, because we have all those little details. Now I did some lighting on this raccoon here, so I made sure the left side was dark again and the right side lighten up. I also added some rim lights to them later. Rim light is like that light that's reflecting on a subject, when like on the edge of a subject, when you have lighting that's coming on it, you will get some rim lights here, and I will do that later on in this edit, you will see that. And here I made sure this cotton candy was in the right place, so you can spend a lot of time getting things right, like little details like this. So try to work on little things like this, because when you see flaws like that, it doesn't look right, and we'll get a better result at the end when you have everything right. So I also made some lighting on the right side on this cotton candy, and make this left side like really dark, because we don't have lighting there. Alright, here I changed the color of this cotton candy a little bit with the hue and saturation to get it more like a little bit less color in it, so it blends in better together with this whole composition. And after that I started off with the rim lights on this giraffe. So I just take a normal brush and make sure it's a clipping mask, so it's inside this giraffe where I'm drawing. And here I made sure to have some rim lights on one of these legs here. So again, with the normal pen tool, I just select this area and draw them on this giraffe. So I used the yellow color here because we have like yellow sunset, so I'm gonna make sure the color of this rim lights also right in this composition. So this was okay. I did some rim lights here on his face, and I think this was enough. I changed the blend mode. I think try to change it to screen or something, and sometimes you need to change the blend mode from these rim lights to screen, or just use normal. I don't never use other blend modes for layers because you don't need to use them. Just try out screen and normal and see how that looks. And here I also made sure the right side of this cotton candy had a little bit of a rim light. I don't like to use rim light a lot because when you use them a lot, it just looks like unreal, and I still want to have the composition look like a real photo or design creation, whatever. So after that, I think I started with getting these rim lights even better. So I tried some rim lights on this bucket here, just a little bit of white line on it. So that looked pretty okay, and the same for this raccoon, just a little white line on the right side of it. So this will make this whole design better at the end when you will blend everything together with presets, or just add some lighting and all the stuff that you do at the end, the colors and all the other good stuff. So as you can see, the most time here went on lighting and shadows instead of the idea itself. So getting the lighting and shadows right, when you do that, when you spend most time on that, you will get a nice creation instead of using your time for other stuff. So try to work on lighting and shadows a lot. It will help you with getting better at compositions. Here it was time to add a real background, and I tried a lot of different backgrounds, and this was the best one. And here I just made a mask on this giraffe and used the Dune grass brush from Photoshop to make it look like he's standing in between this grass. And you can check the brushes of Photoshop. You should have Dune grass and grass brush, and you can use those for this kind of things. So disable color dynamics when you use these, and after that just brush with a black brush these bottom areas away with this Dune grass brush. And as you can see now, I didn't want this Dune grass brush on the shadow, only on like the real stuff in this image, so not shadows. And here I'm brushing the shadows right to fit this background, because we have grass and you won't see that much of a shadow inside this grass in between. So I had to change this perspective slightly here to make sure everything was going in the same direction. And after that I brushed some parts away because I felt like this shadow was a little bit too much here, so I had to edit all these shadows again. I actually wanted to use a different background, so I wanted to use one photo from grass and another one for the sky. So I tried different skies with clouds. I wanted to have more clouds in them, but they didn't look so right, so I just left it like that. And here you can see I added these colors a little bit from this background, and this is the composition how I wanted to upload on Instagram. So I have like these guidelines that I use to make sure this also looks right. So now when I edit, I make sure it looks right in two different compositions, like widescreen and Instagram size. And after that I just upload this, open this up in Lightroom and apply one of my presets. If you check the link in the description, you can find these presets and they will help you with getting better end results. So yeah, that is pretty much it. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe you want to check out one of these videos. And until then, see you in the next video.